how did you end up going to WCW then? Were you a Jim Herd hire?
What happened with me was uh, one day WCW called. Let me see. I came home one day over to my girlfriend's house, and there was a note on the door. It said, Jody Hamilton called from WCW. He wants you to call. So that Monday, I called the office in Atlanta and told him who it was. And Jody gets on the phone and he goes, "Yeah, hey, you doing, Curtis? Jody Hamilton here, Lord rest his soul. He just passed away not too long ago. Interested in doing some business with you. Ole likes, what he sees, Ole Anderson. He was the booker at the time. And they said they were looking for somebody to work Lex Luger. When I was in AWA, we had the same finish, which was a torture act. And they were looking for somebody to work Luger. And they called me. And so I get on the phone with Jody. And he says, "Yeah, we're interested in bringing you up, work an angle with Luger." Right? And want to know how much. It was kind of funny, actually, because he asked me, he goes, "We want to know how much you want to charge so we can, bring you in to work with Luger. How much charge?" I was like, well, this is my first big time gig. So I didn't want to undersell myself. So I'm sitting there going, waiting for him to tell me a number, see what it sounded like. So I'm sitting there going, and he threw a number out and it was great. I said, "Yeah, we'll do that." And the rest was history, brother. That's how I got up in there. They called me. They saw me on ESPN doing my thing, and they thought that I could draw some money with them working Luger.
Before I ask, actually, were you always going to become the Bodyguard? Were you always going to be in that role, or is that something you morphed in over time in WCW?
Yeah, that's something that Dusty gave me. Because I was Big Cat at first, and Ole was the booker at the time. And when Ole got let go, and then Dusty got the book, that's when he came to me and a few other guys like Johnny B. Bad and a few other guys, PN News, a few other guys that wasn't getting pushed, and he had opportunity for them. You understand? And so he came to me and all those guys I mentioned and said, "Hey, I think I got a better character for you." When he got the book, he goes, "You heard of Big Bubba Rogers?" "Yeah, I heard of Big Bubba." "Well, you think you can do that Bodyguard gimmick?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, that was a no-brainer." But here's the kicker. Now, when he told me that, I was like, "So, you got a name for me?" He goes, "Well, just come up with something and let me know what you think. Just come up with something and tell me, let me know." So I was like, shit, I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, I'm going, that's a no-brainer there. How about Mr. Hughes? How does that sound? So I went to him because my real last name, Hughes, is. So I said, "How does Mr. Hughes sound?" He goes, "That sounds perfect. We use that." And that's how I got the name of Mr. Hughes. But sorry about that.
Sorry, there was a concert going on in the background then briefly.
Well, I smoothed up in your bullet boys, right? That's my ringtone, man. Rock and roll. And so, shut up over there. I'm trying to wait for it to be quiet. It'll be done in a second.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so what was I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I sort of did as well. So you just said Mr. Hughes and Dusty loved it. The name.
Oh, yeah. Now I got it. So Dusty, he comes to me and he goes, "I got a better character for you. A Bodyguard gimmick. You think you can handle it?" I said, "Yeah." And then we got to the part about the name. And he goes, "Come up with something and then let me know. Come back and let me know what you come up with." And that's when I said, "How's Mr. Hughes sound?" He goes, "Oh, that sounds perfect. We use that." And so, long story short, I ran with that for a while. So what I had to do is I got some videos of Big Bubba and I watched his matches, see, because I couldn't be the same guy because I didn't want people to get us mixed up thinking we're the same people, even though we're different colors. So I was like, I got to watch so we don't do the same stuff. So what I did was I watched how he went to the ring, how he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? That's Big Bubba because I didn't want to be the same. So I He took off his hat. He took off his glasses. He took off his jacket, right? He took off his tie sometimes. I'm going like, well, I can't do that because if I'm supposed to be this bad SOB bodyguard, I shouldn't have to take off all this stuff. All I need to take off is my hat and my jacket. So I said to myself, I'm gonna keep my gloves on and I got to figure out a way to keep the shades on, see? And that was the kicker right there, the shades, man. And once I did that, the gimmick took off. But Dusty is the one that came up with this gimmick.
I know this might seem like a bit of a strange thing to mention, but did it sort of help your character in a sense when The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner came out the same year, pretty much?
It did. It did. You know, and plus I put my twist to it. You know, I mean, I put my own little twist to it because I wanted people to remember me instead of just, you know, comparing me and Bubba Rogers. You understand? So the difference between me and Bubba is I wrestled in my shades. You understand?
Absolutely.
And my tie, you know, and suspenders and everything. So that was the difference between us two. Plus, I was a little more meaner, a little more vicious. Can't even talk. You know what I mean? A little more meaner, nastier, you might say.